What's up, guys? Lewin here at Garageband and Beyond. Welcome back for another mixing video. Today we're going to be talking about how to get those really cool poppy backup vocals that are super dry, stereo spread, and in your face. It's a really typical thing that you hear a lot, in like Beyoncé songs and Justin Timberlake songs and Pharrel songs and, Lady Gaga and on and on and on. Every pop artist has used this trick in one way or another at some point, I'm pretty sure. Really easy thing to do. And we're going to be taking a look at a mix that I'm doing for a client of mine. Thank you, Angelo, for letting me use your song for this video. I do appreciate that. It makes my life a lot easier. Really quickly, I do want to add that, don't forget, I do mix, record, and master songs for you guys. If you're interested in having me do any work for you, check out my website, garagebandandbeyond.com. Go to the mixing inquiries page there, and you will find all those details. Okay, let's get to the listening section, right? So here we are on this project file. Here are the backup vocals you're going to be paying attention to. These up here are the lead vocals, another lead vocal, and backups. Okay, so these are the backups we're paying attention to today. Here we go. Let's listen.
Remember the days where we stayed up thinking if there's anybody think about me. If I ran across someone's mind, I made a heart go and skip it, Remember the days where I played it cool, but instead I played the fool. But then she said, boy, stop, son, you're trying too hard. Just stop, just stop, just stop, just stop. Mama said she knows best. Mama said she knows best. Mama said she knows best, and she said, what did she say? Mama said if I'm a girl.
All right, so that's it. That should give you an idea of what we're talking about, okay? So this is a really simple thing to do, not complicated at all, which I love and why I'm making a video about it, okay? So the big mental concept you have to have between your lead vocals and your backup vocals is that they are going to live in two different worlds sonically, right? So basically what I mean by that is that on the lead vocal, there's a lot of reverb, okay? The reverb amount, totally up to you. In this particular case, I left it a little wet because I just thought it was a cooler, sexier vibe and the client liked it, so we kept it that way. I like a lot of reverb sometimes on vocals. I don't do it a lot, but in this case, it felt right. So anyway, so the vocals are doing that. One thing I also recommend when you're mixing reverb, I really love the Slate Digital plugins. The Everything bundle is phenomenally good. I highly recommend you guys go buy it. I'm using the plugins in this video because I can EQ. Right here, you have a small EQ section on your reverbs. So what I like to do with my reverbs is dial a lot of the high end out. It's, a lot of people call it the Abbey Road trick because it's something the Beatles sort of originated. But yeah, the Abbey Road trick works really, really well if you're trying to, especially with digital reverbs, if you're trying to get rid of some of that shitty digitaliness of it, just dial out the high end if you have the ability to EQ your reverb. Okay, so that's lead vocal. Lead vocal. Lots of reverb, okay? So the second environment that the pop vocals are going to live in, that the backup vocals, is going to be like a desert, dry as a bone. There is no reverb, no effects of any sort. What that does to your ear is, it just sort of, it jolts you out of that reverb space when you get to it, right? So it makes it feel like they're, especially if you have headphones on or and listening on good speakers, it really sounds like, those two people, although it's one, are singing directly into your ears. It gives you this feeling like it's right up in your face. It sounds really cool, really natural. So that's basically it. One of them has a bunch of reverb and one of them has none of it, right? So simple, right? Let's listen to it again now that you have that concept in your head, okay? So wet lead vocals, dry backup vocals. Listen to it again with that in mind.
Remember the days where we stayed up thinking if there's anybody think about me. If I ran across someone's mind, I made a heart go and skip it, Remember the day.
Okay, so you should have noticed that, okay? Now, the last bit of this, well, not the last necessarily, but the other thing is you're going to have to pan them left and right. In this particular song, and this is something I talk about a lot, -40 on the left, +40 on the right. When you're panning left and right, make sure that you are being precise. Don't be like 38 on this side and 42 on that side. It will affect your stereo field, and you have to be a little bit scientific about it when you're trying to get this to work properly. That's a big one. Just getting the panning -40 on the left, +40 on the right. That's what I like to do, and that's what I recommend, okay? The other thing is, let's see, compression is about the same. I might dial in a little bit more low end on these vocals. It depends on the take, depends on the voice and the microphone, all these things. But sometimes I have found myself dialing in a little bit of more low end. When I want to do that, and I'm using these Slate plugins, look at all these awesome plugins. Where are they? Here. I get this one, the Earth one. This is a great thing for just adding low end. I didn't need it on these vocals because it sounded like he was probably using like a 58 or something, that'd be my guess. And he was right up on top of it. So there was lots of good low end in it anyway. So I didn't have to add any. But that is something that in my experience, I have found that these kinds of backup vocals do benefit from a little bit of low end being added to it. So that's kind of it. You know, the big difference is the reverb, no reverb, and the panning trick. You can EQ it how you like compressing them. I will say the backup vocals these kinds of backup vocals like to be compressed a little bit more heavily. So, you know, just push up if you're using GarageBand or whatever, just push up the input volume and turn down the master volume, and you'll get what I'm talking about. Using a heavier compressor will help separate those vocals out from the mix a little bit more to give them more of that popping and in-your-face effect. But that is going to be very dependent on the kind of signal that you were sent or the kind of signal that you recorded. So I can't really show you exact settings on compressors. Just remember, heavier compression is not a bad thing on these kinds of backup vocals. Not so heavy that you hear it and notice it, but heavy enough where they're sort of pulled out of the mix. And that'll just sort of be a big help. So you guys, I think that's pretty much it. I know it's sort of a short video, but I hope you got a lot out of it. And please do me a favor, watch all these other videos that I've made here on my channel. I've made a bunch of them. I've been doing it for a long time, and I genuinely appreciate your support here on my project at Garageband and beyond. So I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Have a great day. Peace.